the main things on the agenda, it's going to be the introduction or the consideration or introduction of an ordinance that Steve has gone after, which makes all kinds of sense. It's amending the town charter to add a new chapter 432. Go Steve, vehicle spray painting and refurbishing services on vehicles to regulate commercial spray painting and refurbishing services for vehicles in the town. And Chief, did you want to just expound on that at all?
Yes.
Or is Steve here? No, no.
No, I don't think he's here. So just like what the mayor said, it's for the auto body spray booths. What we notice is a lot of businesses in the town that's illegally painting cars or painting car parts. When I was code enforcement, that was one of the things that I tasked myself with doing, and was notifying the state because we realized it was a health issue for not only the employees that spraying it, but also the residents in the town. Once I noticed that we had some of that activity still going on, I tasked Steve with the duty of going around seeing what businesses, if we could, identify that was doing this illegal activity. He went out and did a step even better. He got an ordinance created. So what this ordinance is going to help us do is crack down on the businesses that's painting illegally with these auto body parts in these cars. So that way we can kind of safeguard out nice town and keeping it green without these fumes and chemicals going around. A couple of times when I was on patrol in the area like Ingraham, they were painting cars, and then the fumes would come right out the garage and go right into the resident's backyard. And so that's why I think it's very important that we have something to penalize these shops for doing that.
Hmm.
Is,
Yeah, and they don't have the proper ventilation in some of these places. It's bad.
Hmm.
Yeah.
is there
Uh,
any, I don't want to change the ordinance. I want to take it as it is, but down the road, can we expand this ordinance? I've seen residents painting cars out their driveway,
Mm.
s- in their
So I can have
in their
um
garage. I mean, I want this one to go, but down the road, can we
Well, I mean,
add to
it
it?
wouldn't be a
this
big
is the
change.
yeah, it
yeah.
would just be a couple of words. We can
Okay.
change the word into it just to expand for that title aspect that you brought up.
Yeah.
I
'Cause-
just thought you said that, Chief. I honestly thought you said that.
I never seen anybody
Personal
painting
cars,
garages,
but you
but
didn't.
they
Well, there's a house on Crittenden Street that does it.
okay.
Um,
Mhm.
and there's a couple of other homes I've seen while walking that they're out in their driveway just spraying, I guess, whatever they ran into. And they're
I
not
think
using
that's
spray
probably
cans. They're actually using, you know,
what they're supposed
sprayers.
to.
They're yeah.
Yeah,
I
big
mean,
time spray.
so I just
Okay. So you wanted to change it to say any and all vehicles, I guess, in the driveway.
any vehicles
Um,
in the town boundaries.
okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's in the driveway or in their garage, because if the state hasn't approved for a paint booth in a residential house, uh, they should fall under the same thing.
Hmm. I agree. It should absolutely not
Mm.
be done.
Nope.
Not that mix of
Okay, look to
chemicals.
my notes.
Chief, do you have the ordinance you could pull up?
Let me get rid of it 1 second.
I see it, Rod. Thank you.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw the budget one. I had missed this one.
I sent the ordinance out to council members last Friday, so if you want to actually see the ordinance,
At the
Yeah,
top.
yeah, I read it. It's
it does provide for a fine, a penalty
yep.
of $1,000 if
Because I
you.
was gonna say only 1,000.
yeah, I mean, this is like a pretty serious environmental issue that y'all pinpointed. So,
And so the reason I set it for 1,000 because that's what the state mandate was or the violation
okay.
fee was, but if we want to increase it, we definitely can because as Sir and Bessie said, it's real detrimental to our residents' health, especially with we have a lot of elderly and youth around. We don't want those fumes getting out.
I think 1,000 is I won't say reasonable. It's over reasonable. Um, and if we actually want them to pay, if we go any higher than 1,000, I don't think it'll happen.
Well, then they'll get shut down. I mean,
Yeah.
1,000. If a second offense happens, then I think it should be 10,000.
Well, he certainly,
Yeah, like I feel like it has to be enough to be a serious deterrent.
Yeah. $1,000 for a paint shop is nothing when they're getting 5,000 plus to paint a car.
it could graduate, so you could like do a second offense 2,500, third offense 5,000, like that.
I second offense, I say 10,000. Just put it right to them.
Oh,
There
okay.
should never be a second offense. There shouldn't be a first because they should know better.
And then what I would also recommend is if they get a second or third offense with that, whichever you guys are comfortable with, we will revoke their town permit to make sure that
Yep.
they don't do it again in the town.
Yep.
Because a lot of people, like the mayor said, when you set it so high, they're not going to pay it. But in reality, what they find out doing is they'll go to another building, have the next shop do it. And so all it's going to do is start putting the ball around like soccer. But if we
Yeah.
start pulling licenses, I think we not only would nip that in the bud, but it'd be more of a deterrent from everybody else to do it because their license get pulled as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, to
I
me,
like
second
that.
offense, their license is pulled. I mean, we can't. To me, that's something we can't play around with.
2,500 and licenses pulled.
Yep.
Okay.
You say, Mayor, you're saying 2,500 for the first offense?
No, 1,000 for the first offense.
No.
That's that attorney talking, right?
I like that.
No, I'm here for 2,500 for the first offense.
I
So
vote.
I was
I vote.
saying 1,000 for the first offense and 2,500 for the second and license revoked.
Yep.
So you do it again, look,
You're out of
no
the
three
town.
times. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You're
And
you're
that way
gone.
we get a clean Edmonston. Because
Yep.
if they leave, if they can't, run a clean shop, then bye
right.
bye.
Okay. Now that's for businesses. If we catch a resident doing it, I think the second offense should be 5,000 for a resident. Because you can't. What are you gonna do? You can't throw the resident out of their house.
Mm-mm,
So
you can't.
$1,000 for the first, and let them know you get caught doing it the second time. It's gonna be $5,000, and we'll put a lien on your house.
Yeah,
You
I
don't want to
mean,
pay?
should this even be permitted to begin with?
No,
But
no.
Yeah, the state doesn't allow it at all. Even if they see evidence of you spray painting the vehicle inside of a shop or anywhere, they're giving you citations and giving you violations for it. When I had the state representative come down and do her inspection, she took pictures, she had a whole case, and she's issued out citations to that business. Because there's also a way that you got to properly dispose of each can.
But Sarah, we have residents that are painting cars in the garage or even out in their driveway, and
so
not
I
with.
guess what I'm saying is that I think we're of the same mind, Betsy. Just
Yeah,
for
yeah, we are. No,
clarification.
I was just letting you know. No,
Yeah,
we're definitely on the same line.
what I'm saying though is that the current ordinance is addressed to businesses, and it's like here's all the things you have to do in order to be able to do this,
Right.
right? With residences, there's nothing they can do in
Period.
order to be able
Nothing.
to do
No.
this.
Nope.
And so
Because you
I feel
can't.
like that's just a separate line that's like any like painting of
Any
vehicles,
vehicles.
yeah, um, is
In the
on residential
residential.
property is prohibited.
Right.
But if you
But
break that rule, $2,500.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it just shows that we're serious, and it
Yeah.
would be good if we can let residents know, like mayor in like the next newsletter after this is
Yeah.
passed,
Oh,
you could
mm-hmm.
have something that's like we are very
Information.
serious about protecting our residents and our environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we've heard you loud and clear about the concerns with respect to, in particular, some of the conduct of some of our businesses in town.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what we've decided to do.
And I think we have to find the wording that says if we find out that they are renting, that they'll get the owner. The owner will be liable for 2,500 as well.
Yep.
So
Because
the
the
renter
owner,
at 2,500 and owner as well.
yeah.
I don't know if that would be the first time or second time.
First time for the
Um,
resident, first time for the renter, and maybe the first time for the owner of the property, $1,000, and then second time it would be 5,000.
I kind of think you're right that the first time it should be, it could be the 2,500 for the resident and $1,000 for the owner. The owner is not going to like being fined
No.
because, first of all, they're probably just finding that out
Hmm.
that they're doing that in the house, and they'll probably put it on the renter as
Yeah.
well. No, you're going to pay for that, but that makes the owner aware of what's happening
Yeah.
and ensuring that it won't happen again. And if it does, that person could possibly lose um, their home, where they're renting. So
They would revoke
2,500
Or
their
and 1,000.
renters permit. What you
yeah,
call it? Renters permit? Yeah.
yeah. If the on the second time, if it happens again, then we revoked the rental license, and they're not allowed to rent. The owner of the home cannot rent that house out.
So yeah, that's our go-to for a rental, but for owner occupied activity, we would just do the
Tax lien.
tax lien.
No.
Yep.
Oh, I was kind of kidding.
No.
2,500 and then
Yeah.
5,000.
We can issue a civil
The thousand
citation.
dollars, and then if they can persist, then they get the lien with the 2,500s, right? Or with the 5,000, I'm sorry.
With with the
Yeah.
5,000,
It's 2,500 for the resident the first time
yes,
Yeah.
for the renter.
I'm
for the
I'm trying to
renter.
make all these notes so I can send to
Yeah,
Judge
that's what
too.
I'm doing too on my side. I'm just typing them as we go.
And
Good,
this
good.
is kind of why I said if we put the first one through and then make a second one for it.
Yeah, because it's a little bit of a different class of
Yeah, but he can do it.
category of
Yeah,
issue.
we can do it all within one ordinance. That's
Okay.
because it'll all need to be under the same chapter. He had to create a new chapter because we didn't have a place that it really fit in a category. And so he made up the air quality chapter, which is good, and it can cover both commercial and residential. That's fine.
Okay.
So
And
has
we can pass it on the reading introduction, and then he can make all those changes for final introduction
Oh, okay. That'd be
in
good.
has Judge
April.
has Judge Deloach taken a look at this?
He wrote it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he said. I
Okay.
think I love the fact of having did we already have that, an air quality chapter? I I
No,
love
that's what
that.
I say. He had to create a whole new
Yeah,
chapter for
I
air
love that.
quality.
That's going to move us in a good direction.
Yep.
That's good. We could put some things under
Other
that.
things, yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right, Mayor. I
yeah.
believe that's actually helps us a little bit even more on our green
Yes, yep, yep,
philosophy.
yep,
Um,
yep. Very good. So we can put all that together, and this is a good time to do it. And thanks for all that feedback. That's good.
So this is gonna have I mean maybe have Judge Deloach or somebody, I don't know, Rod or Avery, if you can do this. I think it does need a little bit of a copy edit.
oh,
But
okay.
so for how this ultimately is going to work with code enforcement, I think it might be helpful if for code enforcement we have sort of like a checklist of all of these things that are now going to be required. This is a separate from related to, but separate from the ordinance, just so we know that because there's a lot of requirements under here with respect to the licensing of the technicians, with the training requirement, the notifications, the record keeping. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. And we have to make sure all these businesses are ticking every single box.
Yeah, knowing Steve, He will
Yeah, so
develop
not
that
just
quite well.
Okay.
oh, so when I actually presented this to him, we had got the information from the state representative. It's an entire booklet. So what I did was I made a copy of that, so he has everything for us, a checklist. We can actually condense it down to Edmiston breakdown if we want to, but he has everything from what the technicians need to do, how much schooling they need to have, and everything. So that's where
Fantastic.
that ordinance is
That's
pulled
great.
from.
That's
And
great.
I'm not sure, but I think first they had to get a county permit for a paint booth.
I
Well,
think so. And they got to also go
Yeah,
through the state process
they
as
got to
well to
yeah,
have a
register with
use and
them.
yeah, their use and occupancy permits got
Hmm
to allow that
yeah.
business. Yeah.
So they would have to come in and reinspect.
So how many days are we going to give the businesses to come into compliance with this?
That's a good one.
Zero. As soon
I
as
don't
you,
know if we can lawfully do
no,
that,
no, no,
but
no, because
see.
no, because if they don't have a paint booth through the state or through the county, they're not supposed to be painting. So they
I
got to get their license. They got to get
yeah.
one. Most of them don't have a paint booth to begin with. They got
I
to get a paint
um
booth. They got you. We can't let them paint not having a paint booth.
I think when Steve and I talked, we talked about it being a 6 month window. And so by the time you pass it, it publishes, it will be May. And so we thought January 1st would be, they'd get notification that this is coming. And then January 1st, if you're not in compliance, it's shut
January or July
down.
1st.
Yeah.
January 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
To me,
that gives 6 months. It can be less. It's just when we were talking,
What if we gave them
what
the summer? So if we pass it in May
and then
and then we
gave them
say
till,
September 1.
yeah, that's good.
I
Yeah.
think we might want to give them a little bit of extra time for those that have to be certified. Um, we to check and see how long it takes to get certified. Because the I'm trying to think. When my brother-in-law had a body shop in Hyattsville, and I know they had to get certification, and it was certain times of the year you take these classes and take the certain, the tests and all. So to me, I'd be a little 6 months is more than enough time for that. But if they're painting in their shop now, they have to stop until they get the booth. They have it. The county has given them permit for it. I mean, why are we gonna let them continue to paint when it's against the law? So
Yeah,
to
I think Chief wouldn't Steve actually, or you, somebody would say, okay, you have to cease and desist, and now you have X number of months to get into complete
Right.
compliance, or we're going to
okay,
pull your business license. Isn't that what he would normally kind of do?
Yeah, he would notify them because the first thing we do is we like to notify them of the violation and give them a set time limit from that violation date that we had them cease and desist on. And then if they continue to move forward without correcting that action within that time frame, we move forward with issuing the actual violation for it.
That's what he
okay,
did with, when he was working with the businesses to get in compliance with good standing at the state. He would give them so many months if they needed it, and as long as they were working towards it, he would get updates. And as long as he could see where they were making progress, then he moved. He worked with them. But once they stopped making progress, then I think he and Chief closed them down. But
yeah. Well, to me, as long as they're not painting
yeah.
until they come, in compliance. But knowing a couple of those businesses, they're going to try to be slick and
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. It says all personnel performing spray painting shall complete and approve air quality compliance training within 180 days of hiring.
So
so
that
that's the employee, but that's not the business. You know, with
You're right.
there's got to be something about they cannot do any more painting until they get their county, till they get a booth in there or they get their booth certified.
So I'm thinking we have this air quality chapter. If someone is painting in their business, they did not get the license saying that that's the type of business that they're doing, right?
No,
Chief,
because
is
Pretty
that
much.
correct?
It's 50/50 because they can have the credentials, they may not have the money to get the equipment to continue to do it, and vice
But I
versa.
mean,
They may
under the
not have the
license, would it
certification.
say something like that, or would it say Ray's Auto Body Shop?
You had to go dig deep into it after you. So the use of occupancy permit, it just says their name and that it's out actually able to be occupied. Their licenses just say that they're qualified to do X, Y, and Z pertaining to painting, this vehicle, this many vehicles, something like that.
Do we have any, you may not know, then you might, businesses that actually have the proper ventilation for that type of service? Do
Caliber,
our
The only one that I know
businesses?
of is on Buchanan Street. It's 5,000. It's in the
Caliber,
5,000 block of Buchanan. They have the actual
Caliber
Oh,
collision.
and
oh,
caliber collision.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I wonder how we could do it because what we want to do, I believe, is deter it
Yes.
because we're green and
Hmm.
we want to deter that type of business in our town, period. Caliber, that's what they do. Um, uh, that's a different type of business.
But
But these auto body shops are, it's a mask. We're fixing cars, but yet we're painting
yeah,
cars. So we want that totally. If we're telling the residents no, then our businesses should not be doing it either. So when we say in compliance, we don't want them to come in compliance with whatever you need to paint. We want them to be in compliance by ceasing, stopping, period, and operate your business as it should.
yeah. Now
That's what
Cal,
I,
yeah,
I, I think we're trying to do. I
yeah,
would like to
And I
do.
know when they
yeah.
file for a town permit, they have to state the name of their business and what kind of business it is. So it should be on their town permit application of what kind of business it is,
Business it is.
or a
Because
description
the
of,
county
you
really
detail
doesn't
cars.
care. I don't mean they don't care,
They don't
but
care.
no, I mean they wouldn't care if as long as they have their ducks in a row when they apply, the county won't say, "Well, no, you can't paint." They don't care that part as long as they
As long as the
present what
zoning
they're supposed to. Yeah.
and the zoning is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, but if we as a town, we're green and environmentally conscious, we don't want to kind of encourage them to come into compliance to paint.
Right. Well, to me, if they got a permit from us and doesn't say they're painting cars, they're not painting cars.
Yeah. So
Uh,
that's what we don't want them to come in
yeah,
compliance.
Yeah. Our
Because if it
business,
doesn't say it, then no.
we're going to have to talk to the judge a little bit about that because our business licenses don't give a purpose. The
So the
UNO,
yeah, the application does.
yeah, but it don't, I mean, the business license is tied to that, but it doesn't say that on the business license that you are only licensed to do business as a auto body repair shop or a ice cream distributor or whatever. It might say that on the application, but if we don't have a lot of old applications for businesses in town. We tried over the years to get applications, and I think Steve has tried to create files, but I don't believe he has them all.
well, maybe we should look into not allowing any more paint facilities in the town because we're a
So
green town.
the biggest issue that I'm seeing when I go out with Steve or sometimes on my own, you can have somebody who is like not even an auto body shop. It could be somebody who just changed mufflers, who work on glass, and what they'll do is they'll pay the guy next door under the table and say, "Hey, just paint this car for me."
Yeah,
So, and like the incident where the business on Buchanan Street that we recently shut down, he didn't have no use and occupancy permit, no town permit, no anything. He just took an empty bay that was in the back of Buchanan Street and he gets paid under the table because everybody in that back part knows how to paint a car. He painting two or three cars a day with the door closed. One is unsafe for him because if he passed out, we don't know he's back there. But on three occasions so far, myself, the lieutenant, and the other officers, we go down there on spot inspections, and we catch him every single time. And sometime on the last two occasions, he wasn't painting, but he had the evidence that either he just finished painting or he actually was getting ready to. So we want the ordinance to fit to somebody who, even if they already painted, they've been in violation. That's what the state does. We don't want
yeah,
to catch you in the act of painting because it's going to be hard for us to do that. But if we can
Right.
make the ordinance fit more so saying, okay, you have evidence, whether it's spray paint cans,
That
anything, the smell of it,
paraphernalia.
we can go ahead and enact that as well. Because
Yeah.
the one thing everybody gonna say, oh, I wasn't painting, I wasn't painting.
Maybe it addresses the mayor's concern with the higher the penalty, the more likelihood they're not going to try to get in compliance because of the cost associated with that. Because they're going to pay that fine, they got to pay all those fees to the state, to the county. They got to send the people to training. They got to get the equipment. It's not a cheap process
No, it's
to
not.
get into compliance. So, like she says, if we're issuing and taking their permit potentially, many of them are just going to stop
And
doing.
notifying the owners
And especially if we notify the owners.
Yep.
and fine them. Yeah. We have to write
Because
this
we do have to
well.
be careful of zoning law. And if the zoning law allows body shops with paint booths in that particular zone, then there isn't anything we can do to try to zone them out. We can do these regulations like we're doing, but not completely say you can't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the money penalties will
Yeah. Yeah.
take care of that.
Yeah.
And even with Calver, we have to watch them because sometimes from the back side, you can see where they have sprayed a fender on a car. They're not in the paint booth, they just spray it. So even legit businesses like that have the booths, they cut corners too.
Mm-hmm. Did you see anything, Miss Turberville?
I mean, I'm wondering if we already have, even without this ordinance, right? If if these businesses are going outside of what they told us they would be doing in their business license application,
Mm-hmm.
if we could already sort of use that for stronger enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's a Judge
just gonna
Deloach
say.
question and how we do that. It's
Yeah. I mean, do you have Rod or Chief right now? I mean, just I'm wondering if you could pull up like what one of the on file business applications looks like for one of those
Let me
auto
see
body
if I
places on
have
Buchanan.
access to it.
The application or the license?
The
yeah.
application, just sort of what we have on paper already, so that we all of us have a better sense of like, okay, this is what we already
Mhm.
know
I thought we
about.
couldn't see the app.
Yeah.
Can we see the
I
application?
The
Sarah,
if
I'm going back.
Chief has a copy of it in his files, we can. I have one in mine, but I can't access mine for remotely. But he may have one. The
If I yeah.
application is about 2 pages. It's we get the name of the owner, we get the renter's name, and we get what type of business it is, but I don't know if they go into detail. They
It
may just
doesn't.
say auto repair shop. Yeah, Betsy, you filled one.
Yeah, I filled one out many times. It's
Um,
just name, business, type of business, um, an emergency, how many
contact, yeah,
employees. It
contact,
it it
yeah,
it said what type of business. I just put plastic.
right.
You know, I could
And
put
then you're required to provide a copy of your UNO
yeah.
and that certify that your tax. Steve then checks to certify that taxes are paid and that they're in good standing with the state.
Yeah.
And what is with, and so the UNO is with the county, right?
Correct.
Yep.
And so what do, would the
My
detail, would that be more detailed? That
no.
application for use and occupancy?
Nope.
That, okay.
My UNO is just my name, address, my home address, the building I was going to be in, and it didn't.
Parking. Didn't it state how many parking spaces you
Yep.
had?
And how many handicap spaces?
Yeah.
Um, but
Okay.
other than that, it didn't even ask what I did, what I was doing in there.
I mean, they're going to come and inspect for, health and sanitary and safety before they issue the UNO, meeting building codes. They're looking at building codes, so they should be looking at like a paint booth. But if that person doesn't say they're doing painting, they say they're doing auto repair.
They didn't even ask what I
Yeah.
was doing in there. They came in, they checked, make sure I had the exit signs up, they were lit, that I had
Mhm.
a bathroom in there, cold water. I had to have running cold
Yeah, so
water.
I gotcha. I gotcha. So yes, it's more
The
about what I was
basics.
saying, the health and
Yeah,
safety of
yeah,
the space for the
Right.
people who work there.
yeah.
Which frankly, this is also a problem, right? That we're seeking to
The health
address.
and
It is
safety.
not, yeah. Um,
I think we're on the right track, and you've given a lot of feedback to the judge that we can go back to him and bring some information forward. And he'll be on the call, on the meeting next week to talk further too. But that'll give us time to get the application out to you all and a copy of a UNO so you can actually see it. And then we can go from there.
Yeah, I was trying to bring up one of our online ones. We now have the online application as well where they can go out and fill it out, but I couldn't bring it up on my end.
and it's like they have to sign and attest that all of that
Yes,
they're setting forth is true.
correct.
Well, maybe one thing we could do is have a little bit more detailed and robust application process for our businesses. So they have to provide us specifics, especially with regard to like the environmental consequences of their business practices. So, I think that we could,
One of
could we put more detail? And that this doesn't help us with the existing ones in town, but this certainly helps us with going forward, saying like, well, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to get a license because we don't
let's
license those types of businesses here.
So
also
I could bring up
let's
my,
see.
can I share my screen right here? I
Yeah,
think I found it right here. Give
let's
me one
see if
second.
we're zoned for paint
So
booths.
the application says occupant information, date of application, property owner, occupant information, emergency contact, and then general office hours, business hour or general information, number of employees, business hours, number of vehicles, cars, trucks. Do you employ guards day, night? Do you provide night lights, burglar alarms, fire alarm, sprinklers? List hazard storage. And that's it. It doesn't really even ask what you do.
Well, the
Wow.
hazard storage is a big thing because that paint is hazardous. The
So for
finishes.
our online portal one, we have the permit number that it generates, permit type, whether it's building, business, electrical, excavation, HVAC, your applicant's name, purpose of work, description of work, project cost, business name, nature of business, business hours, number of employees, your insurance information, um, your
What is
burglar
that,
alarm system.
Chief? What is that? Because the one I have up is the one on the app.
It's the iWork system that we use.
Oh, okay. So that one's much more. This is the app you can pull up on our website and actually fill out and submit. And
So lately, yeah, everybody's been filling it out through our iWork portal. So even when you fill out the old form like that, Steve goes in and put it into our iWork system so we can keep track of them, and then we
right,
issue the
right, I
business license through
understand.
that.
But we need to have that iWork app on our website.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not a difficult thing to do because we're not, if you use the app, if you use the website, you're not going to do what you just described.
So I can send it to Jamil. I didn't know it wasn't on the website. I could send it to her, or I think who's the
Yeah.
other lady name?
Jamila, she takes care of the
Okay,
website. Mhm.
okay.
That way we're consistent and we get
Hmm.
better information. And
Yeah,
then
I think we could just ask more questions.
yeah, exactly. And with the iWorkQ program that he uses, he can put an awful lot of stuff in it and a lot of
Hmm.
information. You get, it generates the business license. We are now setting up for online payment, so you can pay for submit your business license application and payment online. And
Okay,
so
that's great.
that'll be starting up for this next renewal, which will go out next month.
PG Planning Board's website is terrible. It won't load. Uh,
Welcome to PG County.
heavens to Betsy.
And
Yes.
No pun intended.
part of what drove Steve to ask for this and do this is because he gets very little to none in terms of cooperation from the county or from the state. And as the chief
Mhm.
indicated, they might come down, but then to continue to enforce it, they aren't so good about
Mhm.
following up if they can get them down there. Is that right, Chief?
Yeah, so the one from the state, she was pretty good. I sent her email when I was code enforcement like that Monday. She came out that Thursday, did an inspection, issued out the violation that following week. But like you said, it's the issue of getting them to come back out and follow up with us on not just
Follow
that
up.
business, but any other businesses
Hmm.
um in our town.
Because when you think about think how many they have across the state, situations may be similar.
What's the do y'all know off the top of your head what the address numbers are, like the blocks on Buchanan Street? Like Caliber Collision is the what block?
5100.
You said 5100?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You have 50, you have
It should be like 5108
49.
because yeah. Because Rob told light is 5116, Alley Cat is 5110.
Yeah. Middle of the block is in the 50s, but you also have the buildings behind there are also Buchanan Street. They're
5008,
A,
5006, 5004,
yeah, A, B, C, and
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, so majority of the ones on the back row are 5006, A through M.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the last one is it 48 something or 49 something? Because we do go.
4902.
Okay.
Chief, you got it down.
That's some of the problem areas right there.
Okay, so 51, if I wanted to use an address, 5108 Buchanan.
Yeah, you can use that.
And I know the one business on the corner of Buchanan and 51st, we had problems with them in the past painting. They would be on the
Next
east
to
side,
next to Caliber.
a couple doors down from Cower, but right on the corner.
Yeah, I think
The
Caliber.
white and blue building.
Yeah.
They have an entrance from the back, right?
Yeah.
From
Hmm.
51st or
They
from
come in
Oh
on
no.
51st.
Yeah. See cars going over here. Too. Okay. What are we doing? Researching?
Yes.
I tell you what.
we're gonna bring back some changes to the ordinance to you, and then we're also going to get our application in line with what we need to have, and then talk to the judge about what we need to add. So
So
we'll
if we
try.
have anything, we should email to you, and you can.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll try to have it. If I get it tomorrow, I can get it to him. I can try to have it back then by Wednesday. He's usually good if I give him a time.
Hmm.
So on to the next.
Thank you. That's good discussion. Helps us a lot.
I'm really happy that Steve brought this, Chief
Hmm.
brought this to us.
Yes, yes, yes. That's good. Good conversation. Thank you, guys. Um, the next item is the investment policy.
Yes, Mayor, this is you'll have a copy of it before Wednesday, but I'm just taking Bladensburg basically and using that. The state requires that all towns have it. Our big investments, we only invest in the state municipal investment pool, and we don't and our dollars that are in the bank that are um, guaranteed. And so it's not a real big thing, but the state wants you to have a policy on hand. So I'll bring that to you by Wednesday. I'll get it out to you Friday for review.
Okay, very good. All right. So then uh, we have a joint resolution. Mr. Barnes sent it to everyone with the town of Bladensburg and Edmonston. Um, and we are establishing a coordinated annexation strategy. We are working together. That's not what the ordinance says. I'm just saying that we are working together um, for the Edmonston Road corridor and adopting a process for intergovernmental cooperation. Mr. Barnes.
Yeah, as you all know, we've talked about annexation for quite some time. Bladensburg's been pretty aggressive with doing some annexation around their community. So Michelle and I started a conversation that led to a meeting with the two mayors and our two administrators. And so as you know, we were trying to think in terms of lining up to Edmonston Road. So the homes between 53rd Avenue, where there's two already on Edmonston Road in Edmonston. And then Mayor Gant was also interested in potentially going the other direction, but we didn't necessarily know how far we wanted to go. If we wanted to go clear down to Kenilworth, and that includes two apartment complexes and several commercial establishments. And so in their discussions, Mayor James and Mayor Gant kind of both agreed that it seemed logical that we would focus on the east side, I mean, on the west side, and they would focus on the east side, since that's what really connects to Bladensburg anyway. And so we potentially maybe in this first round would just simply go down to Emerson and maybe just a little bit past that, or we may go down when we get the survey back, we'll give you several options where you can do before the apartments, or if you want to do the whole thing down to Kenilworth, then that's fine too. But that's going to require more services, where if we stick to the homes that we're focusing on, we're going to be providing trash service. And then the other thing is, we had some discussion about was incentives to annex. You know, what's the incentive? Your taxes are going to go up if you get brought into Edmonston, but you're going to get better service for trash, better service for police, better service for involvement in a community instead of Prince George's County as a whole. So, and a lot of times towns do a phased in approach on that. Maybe they don't tax you the full amount the first year, and then the second year and the third year it until it's finally implemented in a final year. We can choose that, but we wanted to get on the record that as in case things change, as administrators leave, as council and mayors change, we got this intercooperation going on between the two, because there is some purview from the state to try to change the annexation laws every year, and we do not want to lose that option. We certainly want to show that we're cooperating with our neighbors to try to make this as easy as we can. Did I summarize accurately, Mayor?
Yes. Um, can you pull up something maybe they can see where we're going to start and finish, or if you could name some landmarks, I
Yeah,
think
let
that
me
might help.
see
And
what I can.
the
I
good
have
thing is,
Google
go
Maps up
ahead.
right now,
Oh,
Mayor,
okay.
if
Oh,
that
you
would be
pulled it
helpful
up?
for me to share, and then maybe you could walk us through a little bit. I'm
So
also just trying to
efficient.
understand the east-west division piece of
Yeah.
this. So,
When you talk east-west, I just did.
or
Yeah,
Good thing I
Edmondson.
know. Yeah.
Edmonston Road is the boundary. So the east side is everything on that other side. So that's like La Senorita, all of the houses and the Salvation Army,
And Salvation Army.
all of that.
Salvation Army side,
Yeah, that's east. On the west side is
the
um,
church.
the Hispanic church and the homes that go down along there till you reach the parking lot of I did sharing allow. There you go.
All right, are you guys seeing the map?
Yep.
So put in if you click in Decatur and Edmonston Road intersection up there in the search Google map.
Yeah, this is where we are, so it's right here.
Oh, okay, yeah. So everything go back, not on that side, that's Bladensburg where your arrow is. There, between Kenilworth and Edmonston Road, 769B
Hmm.
is where we're talking about.
So this would be the Edmonston side of things.
Correct.
This would be the Bladensburg side
Bladensburg.
of thing. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And
And if you go
so,
to see Three Brothers there, it'd be essentially our that right there.
mhm.
Go back up to that street line there.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the parking
right
lot
there.
is the dividing line, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So then if you go towards the top of the screen, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, all the way down to there.
To
That's
where
what,
it intersects with Kenilworth.
correct. That's where Edmonston would have the opportunity to expand.
We're not saying that's what we want to do.
Correct.
That's where we have the potential to do it. Because within that line there are the apartments
You see, go back to the
and
top of the
other
screen.
businesses.
Back to the top, Sarah.
So towards Kenilworth, towards where it
Yeah.
There
intersects
you
with
go. Yeah.
Kenilworth.
Okay, there's the apartments. Those
Uh-huh.
two buildings, the two long buildings, and that's a house in between.
Uh-huh.
There's a
Okay.
little park down at the end. That's a park that Central Kenilworth CDC manages,
Okay.
and that's all unincorporated currently. And then coming back, you see the famous and the very popular La Placita Mexican
Taqueria.
restaurant. Yeah. And
Yep.
Azteca.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you keep coming, our if you notice, D&D Tire is in Edmonston on Emerson right there.
Mm-hmm.
Kenilworth 66 is in Edmonston currently, so the line goes right behind them.
Okay.
So
This is
I'm
Here.
pointing, Sarah, can you come up see Parts and Authority?
Uh-huh.
That's that's mm,
The liquor store is on the
that's
corner.
yeah, but I mean on Kenilworth.
Parts
Darn.
Authority. Huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Parts
That's
Authority
not the
would
name
be
Neil's is
Neil.
Neil's Auto Part.
okay.
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. But if you road right where you are,
Uh-huh.
no, go back to Parts. And now come back. Go backwards. Yep. Back again. No. Where you
Towards
going?
There.
No,
Emerson.
stop. Go to
Right
go
or
to
left?
Edmonston Road.
CLI.
Edmonston Road. Just
Um,
come back to Edmonston Road.
Yeah,
Now,
so
yes,
here,
stop,
Edmonston
stop.
Road.
Yes.
Okay,
There's
Now,
a
right
liquor
there,
store.
right across there, that's the liquor store.
Yep.
right here.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that was the first stop. Initially, I said I want the liquor store included in it. So it was from the Three Brothers line to the liquor store. So now the question is, because we want some revenue too, we can get some good
Yeah, right.
money from that. So then the question is, do you want to go beyond the liquor store, up the other way, the other way?
Right.
Yes. You go so
Here.
far, so fast. Yes. So in there you have the restaurants, two restaurants there. I think you have two houses there, Mr. Barnes. Is that correct?
Yes, there's I think three actually. One's a
Yeah.
construction
Yeah, all the
office.
Between that,
commercial entities, Mayor, are going to be in the beige, and the residences are in gray. So like,
oh, okay.
yeah, so there's something here, it looks like.
That's
The Dominican hair salon
yeah.
Eagle used appliances and
and the
repairs.
appliance store
Yeah.
that acts as
Okay.
a hair salon. No, it acts as an appliance store. No, I think it's two there, honestly. I think they're
Okay.
on top of each other,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah. All right.
And then
And then it would include, because right now, and then it
you
would
go in
include
the
all of
opposite
this. I know, but
direction.
I'm saying
Oh,
like it would include all of this, right? We're going to go to Three Brothers parking lot, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, because right
Right
now,
at that line, Mr. Barnes, is that where we're talking?
Yes, She's going right.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep
So
going. Keep going right there.
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and just for my own edification, none of this is Edmonston right now, right?
No, it is. All that
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Then what is not?
Right.
The
53rd Avenue, between
Got it.
53rd Avenue.
Behind the businesses on Kenilworth.
Correct.
Got
Yes.
it. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, I was
Yes.
like, wait a second. That can't
And
be
it's
right.
it's and it's isn't it two houses on Edmonston Road?
Right. The right there, that 4804 and
4806, I
Mhm.
believe.
no, it's the first
4800.
two. It's the first two.
Okay.
That
4800.
yeah.
I'm not in
Mm-hmm.
favor of
That's
taking the
already
apartment.
Edmonston.
No, no,
Yeah.
that's not it. Keep going down on the screen.
All this is Edmonston right now.
No,
No,
no.
no, no.
Down
Keep going
on
down. Keep going.
53rd. Go down on 53rd. 53rd.
No, go back towards
No,
keep going back towards
This is the
Three
most
Brothers.
painful
None of that
exercise.
none of where your arrow is in Edmonston currently. Keep going,
Right.
Sarah, down towards Three Brothers.
Okay.
Keep going. Okay, those first two houses right there.
Here.
Uh-huh. They're
Okay.
in Edmonston.
All right. Got it. So these houses are in Edmonston, but these houses
Are not.
Okay.
Correct.
And
Got it.
we have 53rd belongs to us, but the houses
Correct.
are not.
Correct.
Okay. They are unincorporated. So no, it would be great if Edmonston actually reached Edmonston Road. That would make sense.
that's the catch. Yes.
Okay, so
Sarah, I'm not in favor of taking over the apartments because we
No.
don't have enough police officers to do that.
No.
Also, for everybody's information, Three Brothers restaurant and property, a parking lot and all that site was just recently sold to a development company, and the development company is thinking of eventually doing their first phase is they're going to redo the strip mall, and Three Brothers is staying there, but on their second phase, they would like to put in two very large housing complexes on that site, and they would then request Buchanan Street to be punched through to Edmonston Road. It's just below your arrow right
through
there.
here.
Yep. The right of way's there. It's just it never was done, and I don't know how the county would feel about that.
What's the development company?
The development company is a local group, LLC, that purchased the property, and we've met with. They're working on some grant opportunities to get facade improvements, to redo the shopping retail
Okay.
center currently. And
Okay.
then they didn't indicate to us, Mayor, did they, in terms of their plans for their phases, as far as phase two, correct, with the apartment, Mayor?
You don't want to go to the apartments. I don't even want that to be a phase 2, 3, or 4.
No, no, no. That's not what we're
mm,
talking about, Mayor.
I wish we could take the corner, but no. Oh, I jumped.
Yeah.
That's not what you said. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're talking about Three Brothers, the
Oh,
housing they want to put there.
yes. They want to put the two apartment communities, or I don't know if it's the same apartment community or not. And they want to open it up so that there could be open the road up, take down that fence and make it a road.
And then, so
Dude.
yes, so the mayor's asking Sarah where your pointer is right now. That would be where she wants to stop.
Yeah.
And if you, I don't know if you knew this, but Farragut Street has a right of way that goes right behind John's house, right between John's house and Olive Turn Homes there. There's a right of way through there for Farragut Street.
That's not where I don't think she can see that right now because
No, I know.
Okay.
I just saw Farragut Street there, and it just made me think
Yeah.
and remember that. Oh yeah, there's a right
Like here?
Yeah. No, that's Ollie's
No.
Turn, right behind it, right between.
Go
Here.
closer to the Anacostia
Go
River.
up, go
Go
up,
to the
right
green.
there, right there. Yeah, right there. There's a street right away right there.
Oh.
I know, isn't it weird? There's a little piece of land behind where Randy used to live, that garage and that final, yeah. That little
Yeah.
piece of land belongs to Park and Planning. It's landlocked, but I've looked at it before as like it's a little park. But that's beside the point. We're back on annexation.
Okay. Do we know?
Mm-mm.
I'm just curious about the apartments. How many,
Units,
um, yeah, how many units are in those apartments?
not at this point. The survey would give us that
Okay.
information.
I mean,
We
I
don't
would
want
be
it.
interested in pursuing all of this as part of our data gathering,
Oh yeah, yeah. The survey
right?
will
Build data.
go
Yeah.
down, clear
Okay.
Yeah.
down to the Kenilworth, and then it'll come back where you can then pick and choose where you want to go, where you want to stop. And remember, we're going to have to get agreement. We could annex the church without any real issue of property, but anything that we go after in terms of the
We
home,
have to get some buy-in.
we have to get a
Yeah.
percentage of the homes buy-in.
I mean, I just for our collective view, right? If Edmonston did go all the way to here, that does get us quite a bit closer, I think, to being like really accessible to the Purple Line whenever the hell it opens.
Fall of 27.
So
3027.
No, Paul.
um just from like a community development perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like that's just something for us
Yeah.
to ruminate on. But okay, this is very interesting.
Okay.
So this would have implications too as part of the survey to be, how would this increase the population of the town to a degree that
Absolutely.
we would need to shift our division of the
Boards and
wards?
everything. Hmm.
We're going
Like,
to
would we want
need,
to add, is it sufficient? Is it like where we'd want to add a third ward, or is it that we would want to redraw, or this is something we have to decide?
yeah, we would bring you
We have
options.
options.
We're
Okay.
actually working on that currently because the wards are out of
Sync
sync.
somehow.
One ward
How
has
out of sync are they?
a couple hundred residents.
Okay.
So I talked to the judge, and of course it's about a 6-month process to redistrict, and so we'll start that process potentially this summer.
Meaning underrepresentation in which ward?
One ward has 417, one ward has 607.
Which has which?
Yes. Your ward has the lowest, Ward
Okay.
1 has the largest.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't know just because we have the apartments, and so
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
never. It's hard to know. So
I have a question on the annex. Who's going to be in charge of that road?
Well, that was a discussion we had, and
Great question, Betsy.
yeah.
the conversation focused around who has the most capability to maintain and manage it, and that was Bladensburg.
Okay, because I know we have in the industrial park, we had the Riverdale, side. So it'll be the opposite. We'll just take from our curb to the homes will be our
Well, they'd
problem.
have the 10-foot right-of-way strip where the
Okay,
sidewalk is.
okay, good. I don't think we need that responsibility of that road.
But we would, for like snow removal and other things, we would have to do an MOU with them.
No, Mayor, that was when we were thinking of going to the center of the road. If we
Oh,
if we both came
oh,
to the
otherwise they'll take
center,
it. Okay.
yeah. Otherwise,
That was one of the options. Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
And we could do that, but my thinking a long time ago about that was I wanted to have part of Edmonston Road in Edmonston. But if we are up to it, then obviously that's pretty good, pretty close to it. So, and then as we've developed over
It
the
still would
years,
be.
yeah, and as we've developed
Mhm.
over the years, our public works capabilities are less, and so it would make good sense for Bladensburg to have to manage it. And it is a county managed road currently.
Okay.
even though it's a state designated.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think we have the public works to do it, nor do we want to build our public works back up to,
Correct.
you know,
We want the annexation to bring us value without having to spend a lot of money.
yep.
hmm hmm
And
Bladensburg is much larger,
yep. And future road
more
repairs, we don't
capability.
have to worry about.
Correct.
Okay. Well, good. Blah, 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 blah.
And they can pay for the lighting.
We actually, it's funny you mentioned that the Pepco went through all the communities and I one Sunday I had to match um light poles with what they said that we were actually paying for, and in the end it came back that they were going to make us pay for 10 additional um poles that the state was going to said that they would not pay for anymore on Kenilworth Avenue. And so we went back and said, no, that's not going to happen. And in the end, we finally came to agreement. There was two lights that nobody would claim other than us. And so they were extra lights that were put at mid-block in two places to help with security. So and Bladensburg had the same situation. They had 40 or 50 lights that they were going to have to add that the state said they were going to not pay for anymore. And they got it down to, I think, one or two also. So
Good.
the state backed off and is now continuing to pay for the lights on the state highways.
Superb.
Let me see.
That's what makes you so important.
No,
And Michelle, so important.
no.
Town administrators that know how to negotiate. Both of you are like lambs, but you fight like you're tigers. So that's important.
It's a shame
And
that College Park has got a good one now. Bladensburg lost a good one.
yeah, yeah. You got to have town managers that collaborate. I'm very happy with the collaboration with Bladensburg on this project. There's not the fighting. We won't be in the news for anything negative. Um, so when you have two town managers that want to work together for the good of the communities, that's
Yep.
important. So, any more questions or anything on that? If you think of something, you know who to reach out to. So next week with this, Mr. Barnes, we'll be voting on, well,
Oh,
will
you'll
we
be
be
just voting?
voting? Yeah,
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was preparing for the next item.
yeah.
Yes, you'll have the resolution, and I sent the
This is
resolution.
just information, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the consideration of a joint resolution, 2026-01. Yeah, okay. All right, now we move on to the good stuff at
Yeah,
eight
and
o'clock.
I'll try to zip.
So overview.
I'll try to zip through this as fast as I can. Can everybody see the screen? Does it say
Yep.
our wonderful
Good.
big sign that says "Welcome to Edmonston"? There are a lot of things we've done in the town that I think have an impact, but Mayor's Gant's idea to add this sign to our repertoire for welcoming people has really been a big hit. I get so many comments about it. The next step is we need to get lighting on it so you can see it at night. So I'm going to work with Andrew on that. But so we continue to be a visionary community for sure. We work, and I'm going to zip through these. If you have questions, stop me. We still have a great partnership with the Victory Grace, and everybody knows about it. They have their typical amount every Saturday. It's gone really well. They don't do the fifth Saturday each month. I'm really excited about this sector plan. You all have all provided input. You're going to have an opportunity to hear from them at our April meeting, and it is in draft format. It will be getting final comments, and then it'll go to the county council for approval in summer, and we will have a brand new sector plan. You really need to take some time to look at it. I'll send the link out, but we also have a couple of hard copies at the town hall. It's 400 pages, so it's a big document, but there's oodles of things, good things about the town, and recommending a makers village over on Buchanan Street, changing up the zoning over in the industrial park. So it's really transforming Edmonston in a big way going forward, in a way that can be accomplished, not a pie in the sky dream like the old plan used to be. A lot of green space improvements, and so good map, a good roadmap for the 4 towns. The Walkable Watershed grant is ended. We had rain barrels out of that. We got the design for the 49th and Decatur permeable pavement project that I'm submitting next week to Chesapeake Bay to fund. And so a great list of additional recommendations on how we can improve stormwater management and walkability in our community. Our food composting grant ended, but all 5 communities agreed to continue the program by paying for it from the towns itself. So we have 34 customers. We can add customers now we had 150 when the grant ended. We'd now like to get up to 200. And so we're working, we'll be promoting that, but a great program and a great opportunity. The 47th Avenue lights are in and are working, and I've only had one complaint about the dark skies avenue over there, but hopefully that's really helped light up 47th Avenue, particularly to the park. Our junior green team, Jamila just does an amazing job with them. And you can see, I was so excited. The banner that's there was designed by Annie, the resident that used to live at Decatur and 49th. And she was at the Friday night event dedicating the mural. So I was glad to see her and John. It was nice. We had our wonderful celebration. Everybody remembers. Bobby Matzadur just reached out to me, in fact, yesterday to say hi and to say he's happy to help us out any way he can, and that he's going to stop by to see the painting in its home. It was a really fun night and the mural is now permanently displayed at Town Hall. Avery and Jamil have had a ball with the Spring Festival and the Easter egg hunt and activities at Town Hall last year. Planning on that again this year with help from the mayor and anyone else that wants to. Our casino nights have been popular, but now they are transforming into next Friday night. It is going to be bingo and Latteria. And anyone's invited, and hopefully folks will come out to enjoy, instead of thinking they have to gamble or use money. We're going to do it a little bit differently. We had a Global Youth Day. Former council member Coney connected us up with the church, and almost 100 kids came out last spring. We cleaned up along Kenilworth and over in the recreation center, along over to the apartments, and you see all the trash that we collected. It was pickup loads, and they're coming back on March 21st. We did our Eco Grows with our Arbor Day celebration and gave away 100 trees, and are planning this event again this year. We got our Tree City Award for the 11th year in a row in 2025, and I just got notified that we got our 12th year award coming up. Spring and fall dumpster days just continue to be a big success. Avery orders up 4 dumpsters every year, every event, and we fill those up and then some typically. Avery and Jamila organized with the Chesapeake Bay Trust a walking tour, and they had about 25 to 30 people that spent the day walking and seeing some of our sites with the pumping station, Eco City Farms, our rain gardens, and enjoying explaining all the wonderful things we've accomplished through sustainability. Earth Day is a big deal. This was led by our green team this year. Cameron's leading that. So Cameron, thank you for as co-chair of the green team. He gets that responsibility, and so we'll be doing that again this year on the same day as Eco Grows. So this is in the morning, and then Eco Grows is in the afternoon. Um, Avery and Jamil do a spring art camp and have a ball. They fill up the rec center. They have 30 kids or more usually, and they're planning this year. Chief Beal is was going to set up um, an event for painting the barriers on 51st, and so that's what the spring art camp is going to be about, along with some other activities that they've come up with. There's our number one volunteer, and he worked hard to make the town beautiful with all of the different plants. He loves doing that. And he's out of his neck brace, by the way, so we're so excited. He may get to drive. Buchanan Rain Street, we had an effort, a special grant that paid for the history murals, but what it was all about was to change the aesthetic. If you recall, the economic development strategy plan talked about the aesthetics of Buchanan. So we have focused our efforts there, and we put in 9 rain gardens. We put in the history murals. We put in the new African American mural, and we have 3 big belly trash cans coming, and then benches that will be added along Buchanan so that it changes the look of the streetscape along that, along with a monument sign that we're going to recommend to you all to name that industrial park on Buchanan the Guy Berliner Industrial Park for all that he's done for the community. We did bike to work for a number of years. We're not doing it this year. Mr. Johnson, our number one volunteer, isn't able to do it all day or morning and night. So it's been hard to get volunteers, and we don't have very many people stop at our site for some reason. I guess they all like some of the other sites. Rewild's doing their cactus event and 2-day in May again this year, and they have a ball with bringing in a lot of people to the town. We had interns. Avery handled the Rocky and Kayla interns, which was part of the Maryland Corps Service Corps. They were a year long, and she did an amazing job. She had a lot of difficulty because they needed a lot of direction, and so but she did a terrific job and got them through. One of their big projects is Kayla designed the pollinator garden at the entrance to Elizabeth's Landing, and so they planted it and made that work. And then we had our intern from In Time Harvest Ministries, and we also did a summer youth hire with Morris Ramsey, and he helped in public works activities. Our annual Edmonston Day, always a big deal and always a lot of fun. Chief, I love that picture there. I love the foam party too. All great pictures, all great fun. We have lots of good things. We got a $5,000 project charge funding this year for our pony rides, our wall, and our video trailer. So that covers the cost of those activities for Edmonston Day. Plus, there's one other item I'm forgetting, but a lot of good time. We reelected Elizabeth. She will go out of that, so we'll have a new junior mayor come early summer. The other thing I was excited about was our Project Charge event allowed us to begin soccer. Our team there won league championship. So Ashley Montgomery, through mentoring through athletics, is just phenomenal, and we're so pleased to have started that. Avery worked on that and got that partnership going through the Unity Rally, and then it led to this doing this program, and then it led to breakfast on Fridays at the rec center for children, and then it's leading to this soccer program again this year. So we're really happy. They do this sports camp also for the youth. We have yoga classes now at the rec center on a weekly basis. We tried art classes. We didn't have great success, so we're going to try something a little different with the art. We're doing, oh, that's what the other project charge is. We're doing the spring workshop, and then we're doing a summer art workshop for 1 week. That program is being done through Project Charge. We honor our graduates, always a great time and a fun time for them. We have a great partnership with the Environmental Finance Center, the University of Maryland. They're doing a resilience action planning grant with us right now, the Port Towns, and we're developing a climate action plan. It's in working towards the end. I have meetings on that this week and next week, and so hopefully we'll have that soon. We got Rose's mural, that our first Hispanic effort that was part of a grant through Community Legacy. We won another award for Town Hall's beautification, 4th year. We had an officer graduate at the academy. This is a great picture of our Edmonston's finest. They all do certainly look fine there in that picture. We celebrate Yard of the Month, and Jose at the corner of 51st and Emerson was very, very excited about his win. Mr. Doyle always is excited. He does such a great job with not only his flowers, but he also does a great job with his decorations. Mayor Gant started Banner City many, many years ago, actually back in 2011, and we keep it going every year. And so our involvement in the Maryland Municipal League continues to lead the way, and we did that again this year. We hosted the 4th of July block party on the bridge, and what a good time it was. It just seems to keep growing, and everyone is having lots of fun at that event. We don't see the fireworks as well as we could, but I don't think people seem to mind too much. They just seem to have fun. We had our advisors from American Bloom, and we will have them again this year. And we are also hosting the American Bloom Symposium along with the Port Towns, and hopefully, if I can convince Hydesville, on a Friday afternoon, we'll be touring Eco City Farms in the pumping station. We'll be seeing the art. We'll be going to the Bladensburg Waterfront Park for an evening dinner and fireworks. So it is the 25th anniversary of America in Bloom. So we're excited to be able to show off. CDBG, we get a lot of CDBG grants every year, and they typically go for public improvements. So this one was the new sidewalks. We are educating on that as we need to get folks used to the idea to clean the snow off of the sidewalks. But we have completed that. We have on sidewalk being with the new CDBG, we'll be paving Emerson Street, 52nd from Decatur to the rec center, 51st from Emerson to Decatur, and 52nd place from Decatur to Emerson, and we'll be putting in a sidewalk on 52nd place. So we'll have sidewalks on every street on the east side of the river, with the exception of Crittenden. We didn't get enough grant money to do Crittenden's portion, but I will keep after that. I did apply for streetlights like the green ones we just added on 52nd for Emerson Street. So those would be added. We had a great movie night at the Eco City Farms, and the kids had a farm stand, and it's always a good fun event. We sponsor First Friday over at Forklift. They're doing an awesome job, and it's a fun time. We have new rain gardens on 47th and 49th, and this is our last grant that we have from CBT and Prince George's County Stormwater Management Program, although they just released that we could apply again. So I may be talking to Mike Clare to see, because then that would put us over 100. We are at 99 or 98 rain gardens right now. And so if we found additional locations, they are working and doing quite well. I'm doing a webinar for American Bloom. It's a national webinar on the 17th of March, focusing on our rain gardens and the development of rain gardens as an alternative for stormwater management. The Unity Rally, wow, did it go places this year? We had a room full of young people having a great time learning and hearing about resources, and Sheriff Moore did a super job with Mayor Gant, and it was just a fun time. We'll, I'm sure, expand that for next year. We grew the Unity Rally as it keeps growing. This is our 7th annual one, and so wowie wow, it seems like it's only yesterday we had the beginning of it, but big time event, big time fun, and big time information. We have really made a connection with the University of Maryland, and so we're using them to our benefit as much as we can. We had 2 classes this last year. One, Dr. Priscilla Elves' class of diversity in the city did a survey about flood information and how property owners learn about that. And then the landscape design class under Dr. Denny designed all kinds of green space for us. And I'll be bringing you the one that they proposed for 51st and Decatur as we move out to get final feedback from the you folks and from the community, and then put that one out for development. We have $100,000 bond bill to do that with. So we are currently partnered with the University of Maryland on a flood resilience program with Bladensburg. Dr. Priscilla came back. She loved us so much that her class this year is going to expand and do additional surveying. Our bond bill success has really happened. This is our 3rd bond bill in a row. So we got our $100,000 for the park development, and we thank Senator Washington and our delegation for that. We've applied this year for $250,000 to do sidewalks over on Gallatin and on Hamilton and 47th Avenue. And we also put in for additional dollars to help more with Town Hall. We held a workshop for our rain gardens as they've become well known, and we had people that learned about why they're valuable and how they work. We won a national award. Not only did we win our population category for the first time, we won our Partners in Bloom Best Collaborative Project, and that is for our art program. So very happy about that. And we received eight stars out of 10 possible. Our green team worked, Cameron, Jana, Jamila, they all worked like, I don't know, just crazy. They developed a spreadsheet, they ticked it all off so we could get recertified, not as a bronze level, which is the low level. We got certified for the first time as a silver level. So Sustainable Maryland Community, that's a really big deal. And now we have a roadmap to be able to do it again in the future. We celebrated Hispanic Heritage by honoring our council member Serrano, her family, and everybody had a great day at Town Hall, planted a tree in her honor. We always have fun with Trunk or Treat, the police department sponsors, and National Night Out, and everyone just had a ball, and we get so many people. This year it's on Friday night again, so I'm sure we'll have lots of people again. We had our Halloween decorating contest. Our little library's expanded. If you haven't seen the Star Trek library, it's really cool. We did that as an ode to Ed. He's a Trekkie. We had an amazing Kaboom project. Avery and Jamila led that effort. They volunteered to help build the playground over, and people don't realize, but where they built it is actually in Edmonston. I believe they all think it's in Riverdale Park, but it's right across from Fletcher's Field by the bathroom building, and Mayor Gant was there for the ribbon cutting, and it was a really amazing project. We always honor our vets. Avery takes care of getting gift certificates from local restaurants, and then we hand them out to all of our veterans that we know. And then we give away lots of turkey baskets this last year. We did 50 with fresh, and we supported the Victory Grace Church project of giving out turkey baskets. So If somebody needed a turkey basket, didn't get one, and wasn't from trying. Here's our free breakfast we talked about that Mentoring with Athletics does down at the rec center on Friday mornings. Our history murals are complete. We'll be dedicating those on Edmonston Day, um, and honoring our local artist Rose Jaffe for that effort. If you haven't seen them, stop by. They're pretty awesome. The environment one that you see there is going to be the cover of the National Symposium for America in Bloom's program. The other great thing that's happened, thanks to Mayor Gant, she led the effort to create a new Port Town CDC, and so we have the BCCE, and it is up and running. They have elected a president, which is Councilmember Melinda Mendoza from Comer Manor. They have a vice president, Mayor Gant is secretary, and they have a treasurer. So we have had a couple of meetings. We're working on getting all the bylaws and processes approved. So we're very, very excited to get this kicked off so that we can then use that as a mechanism to go after funding for the port towns.
If I could just interrupt with that, I worked hard on that, but I tell you, our town administrators, town managers, they worked really, really hard on it and collaborated. I mean, people do not understand how important it is for collaboration. It gets us where we need to be as a community. I am just so thankful for the four town managers, administrators, whichever, how you guys work together. We worked hard. I think all of us doing our part made a difference that we have a actual BCCE CDC.
Absolutely.
So thank you. You gave me credit, but I mean, we can't do it without you guys. That's for sure.
But you pushed the way through the politics of what could have happened. So Senator Washington hosts a legislative event every year, and District 22, Mayor Gant's always in attendance and always make known what priorities are. And he and the delegation attend with the 7 other communities that you see listed there that are in our district. So appreciate his effort there. We got ready for the holidays. We always make Edmonston into something special, and we did a Winterfest for the very first time. It was very exciting, a little bit cold that day, but everybody worked really hard to make it happen, and a lot of fun. And so we'll reevaluate how we did it, and whether we continue to do it next year or not. But I think it was something that was really fun. Our Adopt a Child program. Oh, I guess I must have missed the wording there for somehow. The Adopt a Child program is in its 10th year, and I just came across the picture of Mayor Gantz sitting in the floor in the rec center with the about 18 children sitting around her, and some of them are the little mussy children that are just really little, and some of the Avens. So it's fun to see that. This year we raised a record $11,000 plus for the program. We had 65 participants, and we did shopping at Target, a fun night. And then the chief, Mayor Gant, came up with this wonderful idea that, hey, this not only help our children with Shop with a Cop, but this helps some senior citizens in the community too. So 4 of our senior citizens got to shop with the cops, and 4 of our young people. And so they had a good time. I think that's Mrs. Boykin trying to decide on something with the Lieutenant Martin and the mayor. Santa arrived on the fire truck as always. What a big deal. I learned how big that was of my very first year as town administrator when I got chewed out by a council member because I didn't send out information about it. Holiday season, lots of decorating. And then another popular item that's come up is our calendars. And so everybody works hard, but Jamila does an amazing job of getting the calendar ready to go and to the publisher. And we focus each year a different focus. We did the centennial, we did recipes and food last year, we did art for this year, and next year I've forgotten now what we talked about, but we already have a idea. The children's art. I think we're going to be doing giving the children opportunity to design pages for the calendar during the art week. And so you can see we're a very busy group of people, and we appreciate greatly each of you that contributes to all of these different things during the year. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's a pleasure to help make Edmonston a great place to live, work, and play. Any questions on that? All right, so now let me see if I can get to the next item. Tonight, I won't keep you real long, as I know it's starting to get late, and some of you may not have eaten. But I want to start us down the road of budget thinking so that you have some idea. And this isn't where I want to be. Why is this not where I want to be? There's where I want to be. Okay. I'm learning. See, I'm getting better. Still not where I want to be. Okay. I lost my
Mind?
no, I lost my connection. I lost my connection to my personal email account somehow. Last time I just had to click on not that, obviously. Okay, this stop sharing and start all over. I sent out, while I'm doing this, I sent out to you the reader's guide, and for Michelle, we're going to be meeting to go over some of that information. But the reader's guide is a great way to look at. It doesn't have the proposed new budget yet because we're still working through that, but it does have all of the wonderful general information about what's going on in the town in terms of strategic plans. It shows the staffing, the organizational chart. It shows the tax rates from other communities, also the proposed tax rate for us. But that's one of the things that if I can get get my Yahoo account on here, we can look at. I don't think I can open my. Oh, maybe. Are you seeing connecting?
Nope.
You're not seeing connecting?
Nope.
Okay, so no, that didn't work. Wow, I had it all lined up and all set up, working just fine. So anyway, I'm not going to waste more time trying to chase all this down. I sent out the reader's guide. I sent out the budget work sheet. And so one of the areas I wanted to talk to you about is it's time to start thinking about raising property taxes. So I went to the county or to the state, and that's what I wanted to bring up was the spreadsheet that I had. and I will send this out to you as soon as the meeting's over. We generate $907,733 in property tax each year. That number stays the same. It's been the same for 14 years. This is the 14th budget that I've done. And the reason it stays the same is because you adopt the constant yield rate on property tax, meaning that as valuation goes up, we don't get that benefit. We remain at the same, we get a reduced rate for property tax as a result in order to maintain the same as the year before. So you haven't raised taxes in 14 years. And in fact, the tax rate for residential has gone, or for both commercial and residential has gone down. We've never actually divided between residential and commercial. So this year I came up with that. I wanted to give you some sense of what the rate was over time. Our value, okay, there we go. So our tax rate in 2017 was 0.6170. Our tax rate proposed for next year is 0.3925. So you can see over those years, the constant yield rate has brought that tax rate down amazingly. The valuation, the tax revenue that we got in 2017, 914,341. The amount we're going to get proposed for next year, 907,303. So you can see over 14 years, that revenue source hasn't grown a bit, not one bit. So where does the split between commercial and residential? So commercial, our valuation for the coming year is $224,957,597. And don't worry about these numbers because I'm going to send them out to you. How much of that is commercial? $130,534,681. That means they generate, of that $907,000, commercial generates $605,550. Residential property taxes generates $400,000. 275 homes pay $400,259, or $94 million in tax valuation. So the biggest share of our tax burden is currently on the backs of commercial versus residential. And what I'm going to be proposing is an increase on the commercial rate, obviously, and then not doing the constant yield rate for residential, but using either last year's or the year before, doing a small tax increase. And so I'll send you those numbers out. We can generate approximately $100,000 by just doing a 10% increase on commercial and keeping the tax rate the same as the current year on residential. So that, while that's not a lot of money, it's going to certainly help us. We need to generate probably, at least in new revenues, at least $250,000 and maybe even more. Now, certainly we can take a look at some of the expenditures, but as you know, our expenditures are tight. Our biggest share of cost is staff. And so we haven't filled two vacancies for the very reason of our cash flow that we have happening as we based our budget this year on some revenue sources that aren't happening. And while we had a month of gain last month on our speed camera, we don't know what this month is going to be, and we don't know what the long trend is going to be. We know that the chief is approving a lot of tickets, he and the staff, but whether they get paid is another question. We do have stop sign cameras with fines there that is into the county council for authorization that would allow us to have a camera at 49th and Decatur, 52nd and Decatur, and 51st and Buchanan. So that would give us additional revenue, but how much we plan on for the coming budget is still up in the air, and we have to be careful and conservative on doing that. Licenses go up next year, so that revenue source increases. Chief has literally broke the bank on the budget as far as parking tickets, thanks to our parking attendant. We are way, way ahead of budget, and if that continues on, we will likely see that go. We are way low on vehicle releases, and our other revenue sources are all coming in right at where we think they were planned to do. We still get to keep the rec center revenue. As you know, we agreed to the license fee, which is $5,000. We added that to the expenses. So when we start looking at expenses next week and more detail at revenues, and I apologize, I have this all prepped up to show you on screen. So my bad for not figuring out how to do that. But questions, discussion, thoughts?
Please express your thoughts about the tax. You're muted, Betsy.
That was first. I said, unfortunately, I think it's going to have to happen. Not that I'm muted, but the tax.
Mhm.
But being muted probably isn't a bad thing anyway.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time. Mr. Barnes loses sleep sometime. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out, excuse me, how to. It's almost like he sings a song to me. Mayor, I don't know where we're going to find the money. And it happens almost every year. And he stresses about it. I stress because he's stressed about it. We make it. I know he was waiting for a payment from, was it 700 that we received, 700,000 that we received?
No,
What was the
we're still
last?
waiting for a $300,000 payment, but
300.
yeah.
It's stressful. And I always say we make it because he's a fantastic grant writer. And the chief is becoming a fantastic grant writer. But we get a lot of what we get because of grants, and grants, and doing things right. People come to us, but that's not always going to be the case. So we have to think longevity, future, sustainability, and what was it, 14 years since I've been mayor, since he's been town administrator, we have not raised taxes. And, first of all, we live here too. And so we understand being taxed on our home, plus with the county. Um, but, and our taxes is one of the I don't know if that's a correct sentence, but our taxes are one of the lowest in the county. I know people might look at our size, but we still have big bills. We need our roads paved. We're still fighting to get that increased or to be steady. And they keep threatening to take that highway revenue away or lower it. So we have to clean our streets, repair our roads, everything. So it's never a good time to raise taxes on anyone, be it personal or business taxes. But we have to be strategic and think about future
We also got
for the
to
town.
we also got to look at it this way. The state's cutting back what they're giving out. The county's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
county's cutting back. If we want to live in a clean, healthy environment, it costs. And it's not like we're raising everybody up by $1,000 or $100,000. if we do little increments every year, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be that hard on
Oh, in
anything else.
increments. That's good.
Yeah.
Look at him.
What?
How old is he?
He's going to be a big boy.
How old is he, Sarah? You're muted.
She's
Hello.
frozen.
He will be 7 in May.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
I know. I
Man.
know. So,
Yeah, we're aging. Okay.
well, you're not, Mayor. Congratulations.
Yeah, I am. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. He was just in a little
I
seat.
know. I know. We
He
just
was
got rid
in
of
your
his car seat
stomach.
this morning. No,
Huh?
He was in Carmen's stomach.
Oh,
But
Okay. Carmen's one of you. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He was in that little
Wow.
car carrier.
We
yeah,
remember.
yeah. I know it.
Wow,
I
what
know.
a good
Nothing
break
marks the
from
passage of time
taxes.
like children.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
can
I
I
Miss
just,
Betsy,
understand.
I cut you off. I'm
That's
sorry.
yeah,
okay.
sorry, Betsy, go ahead.
It's, I know it's not a popular thing to do to raise taxes, but it's just, it's got, to me, I think it's got to be done. Yeah. Because we're not going to have the
Hmm.
money coming in we had from the state, and as I said, in the county in the past.
Hmm.
So go ahead, go ahead, Sarah.
I just have I just have some questions. So just so I understand, if we move away from the constant yield rate for residents, that means that the let me ask this a different way. For the last 14 years, basically, have our residents been paying, residents who own property, have they been paying the same amount?
They they haven't been paying the same amount because the valuation on your home goes up.
Right.
And so your taxes is calculated on your valuation. And so the way that it is controlled for us in terms of the total amount of money we get is by using that constant yield rate. We don't gain from that value increase, but it doesn't mean that you didn't have a tax increase.
I'm sorry if I'm not understanding. So I thought, okay,
If your value on your home goes from 300,000 to 400,000 or 350,000, your taxes are going to go up, no matter whether there's a constant yield rate or not, because the value of your home is increased.
okay,
It's not locked in. What's locked in is that tax rate.
got it. Got it. And so what we are suggesting is going above the constant yield rate
Correct.
in
Well,
order.
actually, what I'm suggesting is we use the same constant yield rate we had this year, which is 0.4239, and
Okay.
we don't take the reduction, which is 0.3995.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes. I think one selling point I think for this is the number of grants that we rely on to do a lot of what keeps the town sort of in really lovely shape for the residents, right? And so I think just wanting to make sure that that's conveyed, that this is not um that this is to support basic services and that we will continue to seek grant support to do things that are not things that we like to see in the town, but maybe are not viewed to be sort of necessary to the day-to-day functioning of our
Right, the
community.
Yeah.
sidewalks, the street
Yeah,
lights,
yeah.
those
And
kinds
so
of
so that people understand that this isn't so that we can get like nice lights, right? Like that's not what this money is to support. This money is to
Right.
support like snow removal and trash removal and
Police.
payment of the public employee and police. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the day-to-day business that we need to
Right.
Because
increase.
remember, our annual budget is about 1.9 million, and 1 million of that is police.
Right. And so that's also a place I think where we have to look close. I mean, I know most of it is personnel, and I'd also be interested in knowing across the board what some of the healthcare expenses are, like if that's going up, because I think that's not anything we have any control over. And I think that that's a very good rationale for us needing to look to this as a new source of income for the town, because the cost of things are skyrocketing for us.
Yeah, our health
And
insurance.
great points. And also, we have not hired, is it 2 police officers?
Correct.
Based on our budget.
Correct.
Thank goodness, Chief was able to get us a reservist. So we've been very frugal about, we don't want to jeopardize safety, of course, and I don't think that we have. But because of our budget, we kind of cut the chief, conversation. Let's hold off on hiring, um, so we can kind of save some money here. And we want to pay our employees. And you have to pay your officers, and you have to, you said a good thing, Ms. Tuberville, about insurance. The cost has risen, but there are perks that we have to provide because we are a smaller community, and our pay isn't as high as you may get in a larger municipality.
Right.
So we have to have certain perks. So we do pay more as a town for our employees' coverage. There are certain things you have to give in order to get, so I know I was talking to the chief. Well, we were talking today, Mr. Barnes, chief and I, and there was an officer, a great officer that we could have had, but the chief knew we could not pay him enough in our town in order to get him. So, those things are real serious. I know sometimes residents don't know all that we're responsible for, especially since people come to us for moolah. But it's a little stressful trying to balance this budget and continue on.
You're missing the highlights behind Sarah.
Am I? Is she? Oh, I have. Is she tech? Oh, I
No,
see.
no.
I see someone.
Oh,
Yeah, Sarah's missing them.
Yeah, I saw them.
Oh, you can see it in your
She
phone.
saw him.
Oh.
I was cracking up. He was having fun.
Anything to avoid bedtime. Yeah, so I'm wondering if, and this is my last comment relative to this, but since this is the first time we've really proposed something that is going to have to moderately be on the backs of our residences and businesses, that we just maybe put in writing the very compelling justification for it and all the different ways that we have worked to keep costs down, to look for alternative sources of revenue, and that there's now costs that we simply don't have as much control over, and we want to keep our residents' quality of life. We want to keep improving that, and so that's why we're proposing this.
Yeah, we have to, when we do this, we've never done this before, so we have to go through a very detailed public hearing process to raise the tax.
Okay.
And so obviously we have to have justification, and we have to publish in the paper that we're doing it and that kind of thing. So it's something I'm going to learn with you all. Vito has told me at Bladensburg he will guide me through it. So that we don't make a mistake and that the state doesn't come back and say, oh, no, you didn't do it correctly. We're not going to let you do it for this year. But
and this is the discussion. This is the opening, saying this is where we are, and who knows, by the time this budget review and everything is over, what we'll come up with, but this is what's on the table.
Yeah, and we haven't started looking at expenses to try to trim them back. Also look at any other revenue sources that we can think of that we could add add in. We did, you did do the business license automatic increase. So it goes up $50 automatically for this year. And um, so that's a good thing. And we have the highway revenue money, the estimate coming in for it is more at this point, but the state hasn't balanced their budget yet. And so they have a huge shortfall. And we don't know what that will be, and that money has to specifically go towards street improvement and signs and all the stuff we do, pothole repairs and all of the things we do for maintenance there. But we are seeing some increase. Our personal property tax is pretty flat at this point, but it doesn't go down, so that's a good thing. And that's another area we could look at increasing, just going from $1.50 to $1.75, and how much that might generate in some income there. So, and keeping in mind that most of our businesses in town don't pay personal property tax, and there's a $20,000, if you have $20,000 or less in value of personal property, you're exempt. So many of the small businesses that don't have a lot of personal property don't pay any of that personal property tax.
And
So
Rod, I'll say, even if they do have to pay personal property tax, I think my biggest, when I had my business up, I think it was like $56. So it's not that much money.
correct, on a small business,
Yeah, it's just not.
right? So again, I apologize. I wanted to have all this up on the screen. So my screen abilities next week, I'll be in the office, so my abilities maybe will be better. But we'll keep feeding this out to you. We'll keep our next meeting next week. We don't have budget at the regular meeting next week, but the next Tuesday after that we do. And so we'll just keep working through this, and I'll put up together the calendar with Vito to see if we do want to do a tax increase, how that process needs to go play out. But I think it can play out through April and May. I think we have to have it to the state by the middle of May.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to be on our council meeting next week. I'm going to be out of town for work, but doesn't sound like we're going to be addressing any of this next week.
Correct.
Okay.
And Mayor, that's all. We've gone 2 hours, so I don't want to
Okay.
take it
Okay.
any further.
Ms. Tuberville, if you missed three meetings in a row, then we have to kick you off the council.
I haven't missed 3 meetings in a row.
I'm
I
just
was at
saying,
the last meeting. I'm not going to be at
just
this
in
one
case,
so much.
since you're not coming next week, in case you decide, let's see, this is March, so April, May, just in case you decide you're not coming to the June meeting, you missed 3 in a row, we may have to boot you.
I will take that under advisement.
All right.
Mayor, I did want to say thanks to everybody for last Friday night, the mural dedication, the African American. It isn't quite complete. The panels that explain what the mural's all about did not come in. They came in tomorrow, but they had banners up. We had about almost 50 people. Avery and Jamila put together a great celebration for Black History, and then Mayor Gant in China with Operation Arts, and Renee welcomed everybody. And the mural works cool if you don't, or if you get a chance, it's animated. So if you go over to it and
Yes, cool.
you click on the QR code and then point at the mural, you're going to get all kinds of animation as it fills in all of the different people that are on there, focusing some on more general way of Black history, but then folk bringing it down to what happened in Edmonston with Adam Plummer and with Mayor Gant in being the first.
You know, I wonder if we could do sort of a little presentation. Ooh, oh, I'll tell you offline. Ugh.
Good move.
Because you
Good
know
move.
what? You know what I'm saying? Because the animation and the I don't know what you call it when he was talking, the
Narrator.
narration.
Hmm.
It was so cool. It was really, really good. And we also did like a we answered, they called it a scavenger hunt. It wasn't a scavenger hunt. It was just answering the questions while he spoke, but it was informative. So while you were listening, you were answering the questions, which was very important. It was just really, really cool. So I'm wondering if we could do like a listening session, something like because it didn't take too long. You know, it's something that we could do via Zoom. But again, I said we can talk offline.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at how we could maybe add that component to the history murals, and then do an art walk where you just walk throughout the community at all the different art things, the libraries, the murals, the wraps around the electrical things. We have quite a few. We're going to have two more coming with the barriers painted on 51st, and then the fence at Town Hall is going to be painted also. And then we have a sculpture coming to Veterans Park, and we have benches that Jordan Sanders, the Jordan and Rose Jaffe live in Edmonston, and Jordan is a sculptor, and so he, when I was talking about I'm adding benches to Buchanan Street, he says, "Oh, hey, come see me. I want to design some for you. That would be great." And so I said, "Oh, I have a grant, so that would be super duper. We could do that." And so, yeah, it's a but the African American one was 4 years in the making. It started out as going to be on the side of the recreation center, and they park and planning wouldn't allow that. And then we punted, and um, we came up with the idea to put it freestanding. First, it was going at public storage, and then it ended up where it is, which it took out. I took out a horrible fence, chain link fence that had grown up in weeds and trees and bushes, and now it's very attractive. And we're going to landscape it even further and put in some um, slats in the chain link fence behind it so that it looks really, really appropriate and wonderful. And then Avery connected with the Jubilee Church. And so after we had our ribbon cutting, went over to the church and had a great reception and event. And Brother Joseph and his staff helped us out there. So we made a great connection. While they've always been involved in our community, somewhat, I think that involvement will probably grow as a result of this connection. So we're glad to have that. Glad everybody that could come enjoyed it. It wasn't as cold as we thought it might be. It was a little chilly, but but not horrible.
Rod, since I won't get a chance to say this at the meeting next week, I always appreciate your interview. Thank you so much. And what an amazing town this is, and what committed public servants and staff we have. It's just, I don't know. These are perilous times, and this is definitely like a beacon of light. So thank you all so much.
Tracy, I think
And
she's leading up to missing the next three meetings.
well,
I did.
I
I said
know
I won't
that
be here at the meeting, so I want to just say it to you all.
I know I speak on behalf of Chief and Avery and Jamilith. We all do it. Steve, everybody does it from the bottom of our hearts. We love Edmonston. We love working with the residents. It's just a great community, and nothing quite like it, I don't think, in the area. So that's why we're a hidden gem.
All right, now we have to change our logo. Edmiston, the hidden gem.
Yeah, but you can't put that on a billboard.
Well, we could. I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. Not on a billboard.
Also, I just want to give you all a heads up if you want to check your email. I did find the zoning for Buchanan, and it's actually two different. It's like industrial light and industrial heavy, plus another kind of industrial.
Oh,
Um, like the road itself is split. So anyway, I just put some thoughts in the email about what we might want to think about doing on the medium and long term.
Yeah, we need to look in the new sector plan and what they're proposing for the zoning.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of wild that like that heavy industrial zone is literally in people's backyards.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be a thing that is
And I think
permissible.
over on 46th Avenue, all the big warehouses of Martin's, I think they're changing that up to a neighborhood kind of zone that it would allow small retail shops and even some housing potentially. And
Mhm.
I know they're recommending on the corner of Buchanan and Tanglewood, making that a maker's zone where makers, different small businesses that make their crafts, sell their crafts.
Okay, because that's heavy industrial right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
that's part of the brownfield. That's part of the 15-acre brownfield that is Washington Gas, where forklift and that big old um, smokestack behind them and the vacant land there. That's all part of a brownfield.
Mhm.
And that corner lot that's empty that we've had trucks parked there, this and that. Many years back, someone tried to buy it and they wanted to put a building up there. You cannot build on that property. You'd have to pull out.
You have to mitigate and yeah,
Yeah, there's so much dirt you'd have to pull out of there. It's not feasible.
Plus, it's also like a Chesapeake Bay critical
area planning. Yeah.
area. So
oh,
it's like it's an overlay of all kinds of things that present
Yeah.
a number of challenges. So anyway.
So
Mhm.
other than a trailer, you can't put anything on
That's
that
why
lot.
the lot stays vacant next to the Santos building
Interesting.
because it's in the critical area planning designated area, and so it's very, very hard to build on it. You can't, it's very hard to put concrete down or asphalt, and yeah, there's a lot of hoops.
So
Okay.
we're done for the night.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
all right. Thank you, everybody. Is there a motion to adjourn this work session?
I'll make it.
All right, second.
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 Thank you. Hey, if Cameron, can you send me your number, please? Or Mr. Barnes, if you have his number. Thank you.
He probably put it in chat. Oh,
Okay.
It's 301-699-8806.
All right.
and
I'll
yes,
cut that
Cameron,
out.
bingo is open to anyone next Friday the 13th. Lotteria, I don't say it right, Avery.
Lotteria.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead,
Lotteria
Avery.
and bingo next Friday. Adults and seniors. Well, one and the same, but
Young adults.
all night.
Younger adults.
That's not always the truth.
All right, y'all. Good
All right.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Good morning.